Hassan Bello looks like it's getting hot in Nigeria. There are many discussions going on and many permutations about what could be the backstory of an American president for the first time since the end of the Second World War, deciding that he's going into an African country. Is not about insisting on democracy. It's not about against corruption. They've done that in Panama. America has invaded many places, that in Iraq and all that, twice in Iraq in 1991, the first Gulf War, again in Iraq, the second Gulf War, to take out Saddam Hussein. And the argument was that Saddam Hussein is a tyrant and he has weapons of mass destruction. This is the first time that's a religious war, which what we knew about in the ancient history of 100 years ago, is purportedly being prepared by the Pentagon against Nigeria, that Donald Trump says that Nigeria's government is allowing or looking on while Christians are being killed, and that is going in. And this comes after a rumors of coup d'etat in Nigeria to remove Bola Tinubu. The coup is apparently foiled. Aso Rock does not say that there's a coup. They sort of deny it. They say they are just making changes. 1 week later, they say they've arrested people who were doing the coup, which we'll discuss now. It's becoming a very major issue. But what worries me is the silence from everyone. The European Union is silent about it. The United Nations is silent about it. ECOWAS is silent about it. The African Union is silent about it. What is the latest?
Well, some observers are not surprised. Trump is a populist.
Mm-hmm.
He will go where he thinks he can make noise and he benefit from the chaos.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond that, how come a purveyor and a sponsor of genocide in one part of the world tend to fight against?
Who is sponsoring genocide?
His children Netanyahu declared wanted by ICC.
Oh no, you can't say that. It's very sensitive. You can't say that.
No, but the fact is
No, you can't say that. You're an analyst. You can't say that. You can't say that.
But it has been declared a genocide.
The United Nations has declared a
genocide.
But the perpetrator of the genocide is Israel.
All credible international organizations have declared a genocide.
Yeah, but Israel is the perpetrator.
The dispute of the genocide has been resolved. It's a genocide.
Yes, but the perpetrator.
The perpetrator is Israel.
Yes, you can say that, but you can't say it's America.
No, I'm saying that he sponsors, he shows Israel. Even when Israel went to attack Iran, he had to go and rescue
Israel. But you still can't say that because the UN didn't say that.
But the question is, if US arms Israel, even when it has been declared genocide, it is hypocritical for you to now come in the name of protecting or preventing genocide in another part of the world. That was the first one I was established. Mm-hmm. Secondly, the MAGA fraternity itself is driven by the concept of evangelical Christianity.
But there's nothing wrong with that.
Christian Zionism.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with it if you look at it in the name of, if indeed that is the teaching of Christ. But if you look at now trying to politicize Christianity, what's the difference between you?
No, hold on. MAGA have a philosophy. You can't question that. You can decide not to belong to it. You can't question that.
Okay.
Yes. So leave that aside.
No, but the question is, if you politicize Christianity,
how are they politicizing Christianity?
If you pursue your diplomacy, international relations, on the premise of religion, what's the difference between you and somebody promoting?
Because the United Nations holds up the freedom of religion, the freedom and the rights of people to practice religion. In America, Muslims practice Islam. Nobody touches.
So the first question,
MAGA is in America, but in America, Muslims practice Islam.
But the question,
Hindus practice Hinduism.
I'm laying a point.
Yeah.
Then the second question would be simple. So if a Muslim decides to promote Islamism without necessarily resorting to violence, is that wrong?
But they do it in America. Islamism is promoted in America.
Because when we go further, you see that because some part of Nigeria have implemented Sharia law, there's a call for sanction. So if
the Trump talk about that. Sharia law has been implemented in Nigeria for a while.
There's a call for sanction by US among its own fraternity. So I said,
over the establishment of Sharia law.
Sharia law. So, and even if you go further, there's a the whole thing is all about Trump's ego, Trump's demand for obedience, Trump's bullish tactics.
Okay, but are the facts untrue?
Obviously.
I have seen videos of people saying that it's true. People in Nigeria, there are videos. I can show you some. There are videos of people in Nigeria, a pastor who had buried people and was complaining that every weekend he's burying people and they are killing Christians.
The nuances of the Islam must be understood. The fact that the header is a Muslim and the farmer is a Christian does not mean they are fighting over religion. They are fighting over water and land.
Yes, that's possible.
So second question, so the IPOP, the Biafran guys attacking people in the east, are they Muslims killing Christians? They are Christians killing Christians.
So the point you're making is that Christians may be dying, but the foundation of the conflict is not religion.
The entire country...
Is that what you're saying? That the foundation of the conflict is not religion?
It's not religious. The entire country...
How do you establish that?
So we'll go further, you see.
All right.
But the question now is, even within his own administration, and the same Trump accused South Africa of genocide when South Africa started to go after its land, after the, apartheid. There was the issue of land, unresolved land.
That has been on the cards for a long time.
He accused South Africa because not as an attempt to go after the land. So for him, it's foreign policy. Anytime you decide to go...
But when he accused South Africa, he showed the South African president a video of Julius Malema, who was talking about they will kill white people. That video is there. He showed it to the South African president.
But have they killed?
No. What I'm saying is, when you're analyzing, you have to devoid the facts from the opinion. You can put any connotation to the video. You can say that Malema was just making political talk and Trump is exaggerating it. But the fact is that Malema did say that he is going to kill white people.
Malema said, is Malema in the government? No. But ANC is in government. So if you are accusing ANC of pursuing a policy of opposition leader, does it make sense?
No, he was telling the ANC that you are not checking things like this.
He threatened sanction because ANC has now accepted a law that allows you to go after the land. Initially there was this willing buyer.
But is he not entitled to do so?
That is interference. Should we also invade?
Well, yeah, you can also invade America if you want.
Should we also accuse America of...
Yeah, you can accuse America of everything you want. America is not part of the ICC even though they set it up. So he's entitled to accuse anybody. Look at this you can't say he's not entitled to.
No. There's a limit. We have, you see, in international relations, we have sovereign equality.
Yes.
So your remarks.
So there's a dispute resolution platform, isn't there? So there is a dispute resolution platform. So you can then report to the United States, to the United Nations dispute resolution platform, that the United Nations is breaching international protocol 657. That's how it's done.
The first concept is to prevent the breach.
How do you prevent it?
That is, respect my sovereignty, I respect yours.
So if it is breached, the reason why they set up the resolution platform so that they know that there could be breaches. So if it is breached, you then report them to the international platform. America went to the second Iraq war without UN endorsement, but they got the endorsement of a country like Senegal, for instance. So it's an international diplomatic platform.
The whole resolution and procedure is meant to prevent resort to force in case of the violation.
Fair enough. But I'm saying America went in without... The United Nations under Kofi Annan said, we are not involved in this war. America went to the war. Unilaterally, but secured the support of some countries, including the African country Senegal.
But even with that, it has become the most discredited war in history.
You don't get my point. I'm saying that when you're analyzing as an analyst, you drop the facts and separate it from opinion.
And the fact is that South Africa has not committed genocide against the whites.
No, you cannot say that. It is the International Criminals Court that can say that.
But has it tendered evidence?
No, you don't seem to get my point. I'm saying that you and me cannot say somebody has done or somebody has not done. No, but we can apply to the court and let the court make that pronouncement. Unless you are saying it in your living room. But if you're saying it on television, you can't say that.
If the facts are obvious, we can debate the fact on the table.
No, you may debate, but you can't make a forceful conclusion if you are not the court on a public platform.
No, but the outcome is so after the rhetoric. What has been the outcome from his own perspective?
All that is irrelevant. I'm saying that you can't make that value
but let's
judgment.
Go further. But even within his own government.
So no, on Nigeria, you're saying that on Nigeria, it may be true that Christians are dying, but you're saying the foundation for the conflict is not religion. I think that's a point, a fair point.
That there is death.
We can take that.
It is true that there is death
of Christians
of both sides.
Who is both sides?
Muslim and Christian.
Is there a conflict between Muslim and Christians?
No, but the conflict affects everybody, be it a Buddhist and atheist.
What is the source of the conflict?
It's complex. It has ethnic undertones.
Ethnic means north and south?
No, this is north and south. For example, in the, what do you call it?
Fulani Hausa?
No, Fulani and the Fulani farmer and the most minority ethnic groups within the Middle Belt, they are farmers, right? And also in the northeast, is about, what do you call it? Boko Haram and religious sentiment. In the southeast, the Igbo land is about secessionist movement, the Biafra. But
so you're saying Nigeria is riddled with conflict?
With conflict.
For how long now?
I think for the past 2 decades.
Okay.
Since the early 2000s going. So we need to look at the conflict step by step to understand. But even after Trump's remark, his own advisor on, what do you call it, senior advisor on Arab and African affairs came to debunk the claim of a genocide in Nigeria. We even know that Boko Haram and ISIS are killing more Muslims than Christians. People are suffering from all sorts of background. This is not specifically targeting about one group or another. So, and this is not the first time Trump has made a statement.
But this appears to have come before Trump speaking. This is mid-October.
You see, but we're
talking about since Trump spoke about Nigeria.
No, I'm saying
this mid-October is earlier than Trump speaking.
But see,
about
this is not the first time. No, but the whole idea of this is the peak of the issue. It started
a little bit. Okay.
But what I'm saying is this is not the first time Trump has issued a statement. And after realizing that threatening remarks, after realizing that perhaps it's undiplomatic, then an advisor will have to come and clear, for lack of a better word, the mess. But then let's look at Nigeria's remarks. Because after the statement, Tinubu and the presidency issued a statement. Since 2020, our administration has maintained an open and active engagement with Christians and Muslim leaders alike and continue to address security challenges which affect citizens across faith and regions. The characterization of Nigeria as religiously intolerant does not reflect our national reality, nor does it take into consideration the consistent and sincere effort. It goes down. Nigeria is a country with constitutional guarantees to protect citizens of all faiths, which is fundamentally so within the constitution itself. We can look at how well has it achieved. But then, right after that, another, I think a leading U.S. official also issued a statement that was now construed to mean the whole idea behind Trump's remark itself. If you are indeed going to fight Boko Haram, which is in the northeast, you are talking about today Boko Haram and other jihadist groups in Nigeria, and to stop their massacre of Christians and threat against moderate Muslims, I advise the Trump administration to establish an emergency base in Port Harcourt, which is the oil capital of Nigeria, which is in the south-south. Look at the disparity between where the purported attack is taking place and where the base is to be settled. All of a sudden, this could be about resources. And then this
okay, so hold on. You're saying that America is suggesting that the base from where they will fight this battle is going to be in Port Harcourt.
This is a suggestion from one of the U.S. officials.
Okay.
That the base should be in Port Harcourt. And Port Harcourt.
Does America have a base in Nigeria?
No,
they don't.
No.
So the suggestion is that America is trying to create a base for itself.
America is trying to have a foothold in order to tap into Nigeria's resources. With the invasion of Iraq, Libya, and other, there was this argument that America's occupation or military intervention is being fueled by resource theft. This also comes to re-echo that sentiment. But then the first question is, why would you establish, if indeed you are fighting Boko Haram, why would you establish a base in a place that has no Boko Haram presence?
Well, military bases do not have to be established in where the trouble is. You establish a base which is safer, where you can organize, you can reorganize, you can keep your food supplies, you can keep your lines,
then Abuja
and then you can then launch into the place where the battle is. So military bases are never established in the heat of the war. For instance, in Ghana, during the Kokumba and Number fight, the military base was in Kumasi, which is very far from the war. General Smith, who led the battalion over there, was in Ashanti region, 2nd Brigade, and the war was in Anumba and Kokumba. So military bases do not, as you get into the trouble zone, and you're able to secure a place, and then you establish a base. That's the whole point about the reconnaissance units of the armed forces. So they go in and try and secure a place so that the rest can come.
But comparing Kumasi to Accra,
this battle was in the north.
Yeah, but comparing Kumasi to Accra, Kumasi is still more closer to the heat than itself.
Yes, so, but also because the general commanding who was chosen was a commander in the brigade in Kumasi.
There are so many places that are closer.
No, but you choose the safest place. It doesn't have to be closer.
Then,
you just choose the safest place.
Immediately that statement was made, all of a sudden then the whole issue came up. So a post, isn't it a little suspicious that all the countries Trump wants to go into
war
are
oil rich, yeah.
Iran, Venezuela, now Nigeria.
Okay.
And then another, what do you call it?
It's a pastor.
They are from Nigeria.
Says
Nigeria is Africa's biggest nation, and America knows this. Nigeria aligning with BRICS was a major source of concern to America. Like that, it is not enough. Nigeria bluntly refused to come dumping of deportees. Yeah, there was an issue with this. Nigeria clearly refused to accept the deportees from almighty America and called America's bluff on its tariff without panicking or sending delegation to plead with Trump.
Okay.
The American propaganda is clear. Incite religious tension, destabilize Nigeria from within, and then wait so we can come to beg for America's assistance. It is a bullish playbook, nothing new. We need never to...
I think it's interesting. So he's making the point that Nigeria was not one of those countries who went to beg on their tariff.
Nigeria didn't beg.
Unlike, say, Ghana. Yeah. Nigeria also did not accept the deportees, unlike Ghana. Yeah. So that he's saying that America is angry with Nigeria. Yeah. And this is how they want to show it.
So they've been different perspective and how the people perceive it. But then one interesting is for the first time, so far, okay? Back to when I was telling you that if indeed it is right for everybody to champion, use religion to promote its politics, then what is wrong in some part of northern Nigeria having their Sharia law?
Yeah, okay.
But then there's a bill in America threatening to impose sanctions on them because they enforce Sharia law. The Nigeria Religious Freedom Accountability Act of 2025.
It's being prepared in the Congress.
Yeah, in the Congress. Led by Ted Cruz.
The Nigerian Religious Freedom Accountability Act 2025.
Led by
sponsored by Senator Ted Cruz.
Yeah, and he was the first person to raise the issue of Christian persecution. But the question now is, if it's okay for you to champion your Christian evangelism, what is wrong with somebody promoting his own Islamist ideology in absence of violence?
Okay, so are we very close to an invasion?
No, I don't think so.
Who is making that determination?
Nigeria is too complex for anybody to want to think of invading. But the question is, if he thinks by his remark where he said it to be sweet, I think he said the whole invasion will be sweet and easy.
And he said all guns blazing.
Then we should ask him, was Afghanistan sweet?
He said it to be sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then the question was Afghanistan sweet and easy?
He didn't invade Afghanistan.
But he was the one who walked out because he saw the result.
Yeah, but he didn't invade.
He was a quagmire and he saw that there was...
Who invaded Afghanistan? Was it not Barack Obama?
It was Bush.
Yeah,
when Obama did the troop surge.
Yeah.
And then what do you call it? From Obama's time, it was obvious that America was not winning the war. There was a stalemate.
Yeah, but if Obama did a troop surge, and Obama is a Democrat, and George Bush, who went in, was Republican, then it would seem like an American foreign policy. Not partisan.
I'm only saying,
and therefore, you can't attribute it to any president.
No, the question is, if indeed America had the efficiency of going there sweet, in respect of the president, Afghanistan was not sweet. It was bitter and distasteful.
Well, but they may cite Libya and they may cite other places.
So now the question is, and looking at the size of Nigeria and the whole nature of Nigeria, it's a different ball game on its own. And then what do you call it? Then it also had a rallying effect, rally around the flag effect. So the politicians and respectively their political position, despite their differences, came out to defend the country. So this is Shehu Sani, is a former senator, right? I want you to record me among those who completely rejected and condemned any act of Mr. Trump's foreign military aggression against my country. Under any guise or excuse, my country is not and will never be a disgraced country.
So there's no link between this American talk and the failed coup?
No. There's no link, and there's not been any link. Neither has it been raised as an issue from the American side.
No, if America will not raise that.
Not the Nigerian side.
Yeah.
And then one of those who are, being blamed for enforcing Sharia law in Nigeria is actually Rabi Musa Kwankwaso.
The former presidential candidate.
Yeah, and also the former governor, two-term governor of Kano State. They also came to issues on state. I've noted with increasing concern, heightened pronouncement on Nigeria by President Trump. It followed the designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern. I want to emphasize my country is a sovereign nation whose people face different threats from outlaws across the country. But then the question now is, and then this is the governor from the east, which is the Christian-dominated part of the country. He also came to state emphatically, Christian killing Christian in southeast. So, and that's a fact. The IPOB is mostly a Christian-dominated group. And
I'm worried because all of this mimic very much the period leading to the invasion by Barack Obama of Libya. Colonel Gaddafi, who was at that time on one leg, was making these posts that we are a sovereign country, he will not be able to come to our country. We had all of that, but eventually he did. It also mimics Saddam Hussein and his, I've forgotten his spokesperson's name, very popular guy. The kinds of things they were saying when the threats started coming from George Bush. And eventually one day we woke up and the BBC was broadcasting attack on...
No, the context differ.
On Libya.
In the Libya situation, there was already a civil war, an ongoing civil war.
In Iraq, it wasn't. Iraq was a stable country. Saddam Hussein was in full control.
I'm talking about in Libya, for example, there was an ongoing civil war, and the state has lost, control of certain portion of its territory.
Yeah, that's correct.
In the case of Nigeria, yes,
but in the case of Iraq, Saddam Hussein was in absolute control. He had his government was in place. Threats had started coming. And then he responded this way, and one day we saw the invasion. It destroyed Iraq. It wasn't a good invasion. It didn't look like it's been good for the world. It doesn't look like it's been good for the region, but it did happen.
So now let's look at these two maps and get to understand the frivolity of Mr. Trump's statement. So this is a map that gives a religious division of Nigeria. So at this site are places that you must have 75 to 94% Muslims.
If north, across the north.
Yeah, some part, not the whole part of some part of the north.
All right.
And then,
No, 2/3 of the north from your map. 2/3 of
no,
the north.
this is the north. This whole place is the north.
Okay, so the north. 2/3 of the north.
So this is the northwest.
Yeah, and this is the northeast.
Yeah,
so
this is
all
the
of the northwest.
Some,
and a significant
and some portion of the
east.
northeast. Yeah.
It's just was it Bono?
Borno, Gombe, Adamawa, Taraba, Kaduna.
What's the religion here?
So we're going to look at the demography.
Okay.
So at the place you have the deep green is where you have 75 to 95% Muslims. At the portion you have these
The light green.
this one, yeah.
Yeah, gray.
50 to 74 mean there's a substantial Christian minority in these pockets.
Okay, all right.
Right? And then around this part too, here, a place where you have 75 to 83% Christians. And then around this part are where you have 45 to 74% Christians. So you begin to see that beyond the fact they say Muslim, not Christian South, the demography is not, what do you call it, linear.
Oh, it's not as simple as that.
As simple as that.
Okay.
There are always pockets of...
Are there Muslims down south? Can I see some of them?
Yeah, so in the southwest there are Muslims.
In Lagos.
Yeah, so Oyo, Oshun, Ekiti, Ogun, Ondo.
There are Muslims there.
Yeah, and especially in Oyo, despite being a what do you call
But
it?
Bola Tinubu himself is Lagos, but he's Muslim.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So but Lagos has a special Christian population.
Okay.
And Lagos, I think, yeah. But the question on this is, even in this part, Oyo has a Muslim majority to a certain extent. Plurality rather. But it's southwest Nigeria. So it's not about this whole...
Let me ask you something before you come to this map. They talk about the other group of people who are under this religious threats, and they call them moderate Muslims. Who are they?
Well, that is another Western, what do you call it?
Classification. It's not real.
Islam.
There's nothing like moderate Muslim.
We don't have like extremist Islam. In Islam, there's not like extremist, there's not like moderate.
Is moderate not those who don't subscribe to Sharia law?
Every Muslim is supposed to subscribe to Sharia law.
Supposed to, but do they? Is every...
No, but the question is, can you cherry pick what portion of the Bible you want to do?
Okay, so you don't accept the classification
it's just a
of
neo-colonial
moderate Muslim.
Western. What
Okay,
we know is
all right.
that some people might be conservative in their interpretation. Some might be
Radical.
more liberal in their interpretation.
Okay.
And some might also be textualist. They may try to look at it literally. So we have that. Within Islam itself, we have some kind of issues where there are no consensus, where opinions differ among the scholars. But we don't believe in the notion of moderate. These are all jargons from academic or Western.
Fair enough. Let's come to this map.
So let's look at this map now. Having established that even here, the South, with Christian majority, which is here, right? He's suffering from violence. But the question is, what type of violence?
The Biafra.
The Biafra violence. And
Secessionist.
Yeah. And the Biafra one is a Christian on Christian-led violence. So where does he put the argument of Trump that Christians have been massacred? Flat.
The Biafra one is well known from the 1970s Biafra war, from the Ojugu contest with Gowon. It's always been known that Biafra had wanted to succeed from Nigeria because the Igbos have felt that they are being undermined one way or the other. They also believe that the coup of 1966 was targeted at them one way or the other. And so because of the lingering of the incomplete Biafra war, where the Nigerian military, indeed led by Obasanjo at that time, he was a colonel, crushed the resistance of Ojugu. And I talk like that because Ghana was a big part of that conversation. The Abri Accord was signed here in Ghana under General Akufo and General Champon to bring peace to Nigeria. So the Biafra war is a lingering conversation. For instance, if you come to Ghanaian politics until recently, the secession of the NLM was a lingering conversation. So that is what will lead people to talk about Biafra and will not consider that as a religious war, but they know straight away that there's a foundations in Biafra, isn't it?
Yeah, but there have been serious crime and atrocity committed by this group because they declared this.
Yes, it's always been.
They declared this Monday sit at home, that nobody should go to work.
Because Biafra wants to succeed.
And then everybody who comes out on Monday
should be killed.
And they kill. They kill. They run rampage.
I see.
And these are
when was the last time that happened in Nigeria?
Oh, I think so far this year we haven't heard much, but so far.
You mean as recent as last year that was happening?
Yeah.
2024?
Obviously. And even any part of this year. So the question now is, that's why the governor, Soludo, that's why he said, Christian killing Christians in the southeast.
Okay.
And then look at another issue. These are so it conforms to the Igbo spatial distribution.
Yeah.
And if you look at around where we are talking about, this is also a place with huge Christian population. Then let's look at the situation in the northern region. What do you call it? And here, okay, is a place where we know Boko Haram is also very active.
Yeah.
But even within this part, there are what? Some Christian minorities.
Okay, so
let's
try and wrap up. So there's no peace in Nigeria.
There's no peace in Nigeria. There's violence.
But it doesn't warrant an international invasion by the United States.
At this part is a secessionist revolt. At this part is an Islamist insurgency. In the middle belt is, pastoralist farmer clashes. And it's basically over land, pasture, and water resource. At the northwest is about banditry, kidnapping. And the south and west, we have issues of ritual. So there are killings, and Nigeria is actually bleeding. And irrespective of your faith, everybody is bleeding. So the issue is that if Trump is really interested in helping Nigeria, as he wants us to believe, or as it has been said, then why not work with the government in place? Look at what they lack in terms of military.
He's blaming the government. That's his first point of blame.
And that is why we say for Trump, he's moved more by whims than his wits. His policies has displayed that. He's just, and the reason why the EU might be quiet is that with the issues around Ukraine and the fact that they feel threatened by Russia, and then Trump is holding on the brake one way or the other in terms of making sure Europe carries the weight of defending Ukraine. So they have that issue, so nobody wants to be on his wrong side.
But how come those who support the invasion of Russia against Ukraine are worried that America is going to attack Nigeria? The same thing.
Those who support
Russia's invasion of Ukraine.
So it's about geopolitics, so everybody has to look at where his interest lies.
So it's a conversation is about international politics and interest, isn't it?
An interest.
So you cannot really blame Trump, because there are those who support Russia to invade Ukraine.
But international law is against, undermine the sovereignty of countries.
But international law is against Russia in the
and
fight against Ukraine.
That is why if you want to condemn Russia, which is condemnable in Ukraine, right? We should also condemn America for when it goes excess overboard. But the same people who are shielding America for its, own lack of accountability, want to hold others to account. Which is the problem here. For example,
that's the platform of international politics.
For example,
his might is right.
For example,
that's how it's been. The Second World War was about might is right.
And that's
the
why,
First World War was about might is right.
And that is why if you look at Trump's policy,
the Falkland Islands and conflict with Britain is about might is right.
That is realism, yeah. But the question is, why did we decide to have international law? Because we've seen the adverse consequence of some of these actions. And so long as we've all agreed to be in a committee of nations, that there will be certain laws that will guide our activities, then definitely we must either strengthen the law and live with it, or we undermine the law and be on our own.
You are not concerned that ECOWAS is quiet?
Yeah, we are getting there. So there are those who still argue about this. Let's talk about the issue of lithium, tantalite, and how it is very precious to
the rare earth issues.
The EVs, electric vehicles.
Okay.
So that might also be another concern.
And Nigeria has a lot of that.
A lot of lithium, yeah.
Okay.
Even across West Africa, there's an issue of weed discovery.
Yeah.
And then there's another perspective that's also being thrown out there. There are those who think that the issue of Nigeria trying to win itself of oil import might also be contributing to this.
Oh yeah, the so-called statements of Aliko Dangote. Yeah.
So Dangote is giving the West a serious headache. They never saw it coming. And then, but as a response, the same Dangote refinery buys crude from US. Yeah. But then in the short term, Dangote refinery is buying crude from US because NNPC is unable to meet Dangote refinery demands on the ground that it has existing contracts. With some of these multinationals.
With the multinationals. So they can't give it to Dangote.
To a certain extent, in the volume that he required to feed the refinery.
Yeah.
So definitely, if that...
He has to import crude from all the way in America to refine in Nigeria and send back to Europe or somewhere.
And export back to... He recently exported...
But he can't find crude in Ghana.
Well, I don't know why...
Or perhaps we're also in the same situation. We have pledged the crude elsewhere.
So now, if that be the case, then it stands to be said that after the expiration of some of those contracts, then the refinery might eventually have access. And that also creates, because Nigeria is a very substantial importer of petrochemicals.
Yes.
And there's that economic argument. So it's being seen from both economic, religious, and then now by the international law, sovereign equality, first article of the UN. based on the sovereign equality of all member states. All members, in order to ensure all of them the right and benefits resulting from shall fulfill good faith obligation, whatever.
Okay.
So the third.
I get that. Let's be wrapping up. So
peaceful means.
What is going to happen in the next few
weeks? But
there's
a protocol in ECOWAS that looks more like a collective defense to a certain extent. And that is a protocol related to mutual assistance in defense.
Yeah, that's there. So that ECOWAS comes together to fight. I think that's what was applied in Liberia. The Liberian
within that
to remove
within that context,
to go into the war and stop Charles Taylor from overrunning Monrovia, which Charles Taylor was very angry with. Charles Taylor has always been angry with ECOWAS because he knew that he had won the war. ECOWAS got Yomi Johnson out of the NPFL and used him to just step in at the last minute. Eventually, it was said that Babangida, the Nigerian leader, had business interest in Monrovia and he wanted to protect it from Charles Taylor's invasion. Babangida railroaded Flight Lieutenant Rawlins into it and got that kind of situation. So international politics and international maneuvering is really about interest.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. So what do we foresee happening?
So I think
I'm really worried that Trump may carry out his threats.
Of course, we should be worried because Nigeria is a very huge country, both in size and population.
And if that happens, Ghana is going to bear the brunt of it.
There's this, I don't know, is this symbiotic relation between Ghana and Nigeria that even
because we're the English speaking and we have tribes.
No, but it even predates colonial rule.
Yeah, it will, because the Gans are in Nigeria, the Gans are here. The Hausa is there, Hausa is here. There's Fulani there, there's Fulani here.
The Hausa traders used to be in Salaga, in the cola trade.
Absolutely.
But
there's a Lagos town in Accra.
Yeah. So now the issue is that any instability in Nigeria
is going to hurt Ghana.
Will be on the first
major.
But interestingly, the question is now, how do we define this protocol? Should it be an expansive one?
I think Ghana's foreign ministry should enter into real deep negotiations with the American authorities.
Yeah, so Ghana can offer some mediation.
It's very important that the president and the foreign ministry of Ghana should begin that now.
But if you look at Tinubu's statement, it also opens door for dialogue, because he was not hostile and should I say?
But if all the suspicions on President Trump's ambition in Nigeria is to be taken serious, negotiations with Tinubu might not work.
But Radosu also said that Tinubu is perhaps been giving a dose of his own bitter pills.
Why?
That during Jonathan's administration, when in opposition, he also made a statement that could have been interpreted in the guise of what Trump is saying.
During the Boko Haram period?
Yeah, when Jonathan was in office and he was with the APC.
The opposition.
This is one of the posts he did at the time.
He said the slaughtering of Christian worshippers is strongly condemnable.
2014.
The slaughtering of Christian worshippers is strongly condemnable. It calls to question the competence of Jonathan to protect Nigerians.
But underlying issue here is the slaughtering of Christians.
But Tinubu was Muslim. He's always been Muslim.
Some say that, so there are those who feel like if you're able to use that in opposition.
But that also means that the slaughtering of Christians in Nigeria has been a topic on the front burner since 2014. This was a very important politician in 2014, an opposition leader speaking. And if as way back as 2014, long before Trump became president of the United States in 2016-17, and this is what was said in 2014, then perhaps this is a feather in the cup of Trump that Nigeria has been complaining by itself of the slaughtering of Christians since 2014 by Bola Tinubu.
At the time some of these statements were being made by members of APC in opposition, there were opinion leaders, traditional leaders, and religious authorities that were calling the politicians to caution that we have killings across board. So we should be they should be careful on how they send their messages in order not
Has Tinubu been invited to comment on this post he made in 2014?
Well, Nigerians are now drawing the link between what is happening to him now as more like a form of a poetic justice. That if you could say this in opposition, you have been given the dose of your bitter pill, perhaps now at a different level.
Let's leave it so that
but the Nigerians in their own usual way of making fun of everything.
Yes.
Someone decided to say, well, for him, big man, live long talk. Are you landing with first platoon or second platoon? If you deploy to Abuja, I will send you my exit. Help me bomb their family house. So for him, it's just more.
That's an interesting one. He wants his ex-girlfriend's family house bomb, so that he will send them the address. Okay. Thank you, Bello.